Another mock draft. It is a 12-team PPR 1QB league, and I'm picking from pick 10. Let's turn off the sound. Settings are good, and let's start this thing. So Chase Barkley, I'm glad Barkley's gone. I don't really love drafting him. Maybe that makes you turn off the video, but I would have liked Neighbors. We're at Lamb, St. Brown, and here's where we might go controversial. So at this spot of these options, the only two I'm not really considering are just these older running backs. Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, they're 31 and 29 going on 30. This year, the first round in my draft, that worries me. Like Saquon went late first round last year and he wound up being a league winner. So that could be Christian McCaffrey this year. That could be Derrick Henry this year, but it just worries me that they're so old. Like I like to stay safe here. So I would probably go Genty over Henry. And at this spot, I'm probably going to go Genty and hope to get Nico Collins or Brian Thomas at the wrap. Although, actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to pass on Genty. I'm going to go take the upside of Brian Thomas because he could be wide receiver 1 overall. It wouldn't really surprise me. So I'm going to go Brian Thomas, and I'm going to hope that Achane falls back to me. If Achane doesn't, I feel good about Brian Thomas, Brock Bowers. And that's how I'm thinking about this spot here. Like, I'm not really looking to go Derrick Henry because I could probably get Genty or Achane on the turn when it comes back to me. And I like those guys to be wide receiver 1 or running back 1, especially in a half PPR or PPR more than or as much as Derrick Henry. So what did I say I would do? I said I would go Brian Thomas. We'll see who comes back. There goes Henry, Genty, McCaffrey, A.J. Brown. Kind of odd, but at this spot, I like Devon Achane. If it had been Achane here instead of A.J. Brown, which I think is a little bit of a stretch. I like A.J. Brown, so I guess actually, I think A.J. Brown has top 5 wide receiver upside if he's fully healthy, so it's not a crazy pick. But here, like we said, I'm going Devon Achane. If we didn't have Achane fall to us, I might consider Drake London or Brock Bowers. Although I don't love Bowers at the 2-3 turn. I kind of like Brock Bowers like as much as Trey McBride or very similarly. So I don't end up with him a lot if I'm at the 110. I'm going with Achane. When Achane was playing last year with Tua, it was RB1 numbers. And when Tua was out, it wasn't really a viable backup. They were starting Tyler Huntley, who they had signed from the Ravens practice squad. So I really don't worry about Devon Achane this year. So at 310, I'm really happy Terry McLaurin is gone because that's a pick I was not considering. I would have considered George Kittle. I would have been really happy to take George Kittle there. I don't think there's any chance Trey McBride would have gotten back to me there, but I would have liked that. I'm not really considering a quarterback here. In a 1QB league, I just like the guys I can take late as flyers. I could get Justin Fields late and Drake May late. From most positions, I'm not grabbing a quarterback unless Allen, Lamar, or Daniels had fallen to the 4th. Because you just don't have a guarantee of an advantage at the position. If someone breaks out, like last year, if you took Josh Allen first overall, like Jaden Daniels was right there and someone got him for nothing. So you just kind of lose your edge over one of those people, and you don't really lose your edge at the tight end position. So I don't really take quarterbacks early. Here, we're good. We've got Thomas, Achane. We're going to start prepping out like where we could get a tight end because tight end, you can gain an advantage. So I might look for Hawkinson to come back to me. I like TJ Hawkinson. I might just grab Sam Laporta on the wraparound based on who's here. Looking at this pick, my options are really, I like Chase Brown. Breece Hall does worry me a little bit that what if he doesn't bounce back? What if James Cook doesn't start practicing? I'm going to avoid that stuff. And I'm just going to shoot for the massive upside of Marvin Harrison. So now at other spots, I'll want to feel a little bit safer. Like, I probably wouldn't go Joe Burrow here. I might consider Mike Evans or Devontae Adams to just be safe guys. If I hadn't taken Marv, I would probably swing for Hampton or Walker here and wouldn't go for Hubbard because I want league winners past the 3rd round. Now, saying that, I might go for DJ Moore or DK Metcalf to pair with Marv. Like, I feel these guys are really safe. So Marv would be my league winner, and then these would be the safe guys that I'm pairing with him. I'm not really considering Cortland Sutton at this pick. And I'm going to risk and see. I think I'm going to risk having tight end come back to us, TJ Hawkinson, and Alvin Kamara just caught my eye as a safe, probably like top 8 upside in PPR and half PPR running back. So Kamara in the 4th round seems pretty good to me. And being able to get Kamara in the early 4th is why I'm trying to get, I'm favoring receivers in my ranks. Now, I'm not saying I always want to have 2 receivers in the first 3 rounds. Just the way I have them ranked, I end up with receivers here. So I'm going to go with Kamara. I feel really good about my starters at those positions, like Thomas Harrison, H.N. Kamara. I feel really good about the production I'm going to get from them. Let's see who comes back. Like if Laporta fell to us, that's a slam. And he goes 1 spot before. Now, I like TJ Hawkinson. When you look at his stats here, 2024, so we're looking at these columns here, standard and PPR, and we're looking at his snap percentage. TJ Hawkinson was typically playing over 80% of the snaps when he was healthy. And when he came back from injury last year, he's never close to 80%. So what we saw from him last year is just not his full go. It's not his full speed. I think he was still recovering. He's only 28. Tight ends play long, can play 30 plus. So I might take Hawkinson here because I want to know that I have an edge or like have a rock solid tight end. I probably don't gain a massive edge by having Hawkinson or possibly Kelsey, but I like having that upside. So I think I'm just going to take Hawkinson because I've seen him be tight end 3 with the Vikings when he's fully healthy. And that's going to let Ted McMillan, Travis Hunter, RJ Harvey, Travion Henderson fall back to us. We'll feel solid at our tight end, and then we'll have a big upside play from these rookies at either wide receiver or running back. That's my thought process here. There's still good wide receivers that we could get to get a floor if we're really worried about Marvin Harrison. So options that could be big value hits would be not really Jordan Addison. This ADP is not yet fully going to take into account his suspension. Same thing with Judkins. Like Olave has a bunch of upside. I don't know how I feel about his floor. Jalen Waddle, I feel all right about his floor when everyone there is healthy. So he's an option here. I'm not really touching Pacheco. I've got 2 good running backs that it's just too volatile for me. Like if he's not playing week 1, the value completely disappears among your league mates. You know, people know Pacheco as the running back for the Chiefs, but they saw him be pretty bad at the end of last year. So if he's bad again, it's just going to go further down and he'll be untradeable. So I'm looking for like league winners or tradable pieces. And my choices here are between Harvey and Tet, and I'm going to go with Tet. And then there's a player I'm hoping comes back to me at 7-10 for a 3rd running back upside, and it's Caleb Johnson, who I've been taking in most of these videos. Jacoby Myers and Calvin Ridley go. There goes Caleb Johnson. There goes Olave. There's Pollard, a good safe-ish floor running back. We've got 2. At this point in a draft, I would be fine leaving with 2 running backs, knowing I'm going to pick someone up on waivers. So for that reason, I like this upside of Rome Odunze, and I bet his floor is pretty good too. I like what Ben Johnson is going to do for the Bears. So if I'm choosing between Odunze and Robinson, I'm not taking just kind of the safe floor guy Robinson. I want league winners in a 1 QB league. So I'm probably going to go, let's see, where do we got to grab Fields? I mean, I'm looking at QB options. I might go like Odunze Kyler here and just get a locked in top 10 quarterback. I do like going for Matthew Golden, but I think I like Odunze more. So I'm going to go Odunze and hope to grab Kyler on the comeback. Looking at options here, like Debo's not really a big pick for me. Cooper Kupp's not really someone I want to be picking here compared to guys like Odunze. Travis Etienne, if I had snagged a quarterback somewhere else, I might consider. But here, I'm just going to go with Kyler Murray. In this same ADP range, I'm not really taking... I just moved my chair. I'm not really taking Tyler Warren here. This just seems a bit too far ahead. Like, even if I took him at 8th round or 9th round, that just seems a bit too far ahead of where I want to be taking a rookie tight end. Like Brock Bowers was a league winner last year out of the 10th round. That's just not that common. So now guys that I think are less likely to do that, like I think Tyler Warren is less likely to be a stud tight end than Brock Bowers was, and I'm not going to take him earlier. So I'm just going to get the quarterback here. I feel really good that Kyler's probably top 10 and could easily be like top 8, top 7 if that rushing comes back or if the passing game improves some. Like it doesn't take a lot for him to return value here. I would really like to get Ibuka, or I might go Javonte. Let me look at this. At this point, the running backs here, like Javonte Williams is probably someone that's cuttable tier. Same thing with Jaden Blue. In these later rounds, I like targeting ambiguous running back situations. Because if Javonte works, he's going to give you way more than 9th round value. I took Tony Pollard late last year, and now Pollard was going... I saw him go. He went in the 7th, and I probably took him with like 12th round value last year because it's an ambiguous running back situation. And when the community doesn't know who to pick, that doesn't mean they're both bad. It means people don't know. So if you take a bet on it and you hit, I'm gonna grab Javonte in the 10th if he comes back to me. And here I'm gonna lock up Ibuka. If I don't get Javonte, I'll probably look at Jordan Mason for the same reason. Just kind of an unsure of who's going to take over that role. So I'll go with Ibuka. Downs is gone. Javante's gone. Kincaid is gone. So I'll take Jordan Mason, who could return great value from the 10. Like if he's playing pretty well week 1, or if Aaron Jones misses some time. I think last year at age 29 was the first year he didn't miss time in a while. Like Jordan Mason could return a lot of value. I could have also considered J.K. Dobbins for the same reason, Zach Charbonnet for the same reason. We've seen Ken Walker miss time, so I could have considered Zach Charbonnet there. And same with Tajay Spears. Like ADP here doesn't matter. We're looking for running backs that we hope can be flex spots or bye week fill-ins or shoot way up and be tradable for, like if Jordan Mason does really well, couldn't I trade him for Jalen Waddle one-on-one? Like that could totally be plausible. So that's what I'm looking for at a lot of these draft spots in a 12-team league with just one quarterback. I want guys that can pop up in value and become tradable to lock that in elsewhere. Here, I'm probably going to do something similar and snag Jaden Blue or Justin Fields or Drake May. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plan to take Drake May at the 12 here for a second quarterback option that if he hits early on, I already know people are pretty hyped for him. So that might become something movable or startable. I don't love taking 2 quarterbacks. I'm going to shoot for maybe Rashid Shaheed. It's early in the season. Let's take a look. I haven't checked if he's been practicing yet. If Rashid Shaheed is full go in practice, that's an option for me there, or maybe Luther Burden here. those are all viable options for me. I'm not really considering Goddard. I'm not considering defense or a kicker at this spot. How's the timer? We'll hit pause so that we can make sure we're able to talk through this. And you could take some notes or save the video. I'm not really taking Kyle Williams. I might go with Tank Bigsby and have a shot at running back. And really, round 11, I'm not super worried about how far I'm scrolling before I click. I don't really want Nick Chubb. Tank Bigsby could return good value if that works out. So I might go... Any of these picks are totally fine. For this mock draft, I'm going to say Jaden Blue. I could have also taken Tank Bigsby. And it's really just looking for running back up shots. I've already got Abuka, Odunze, McMillan, Harrison, and Thomas, where I feel good about those guys playing and being possible value risers post-draft, within the first month of the season. So I'm going to take Jaden Blue because we mentioned all those good options at wide receiver. I'll unpause this and click him. Resume draft. Jaden Blue. Go for it, bud. And then I want Drake May here in the 12th. So this pick here, I mean, if Drake May hits, this has won me many leagues doing picks like this. Is Drake May already gone? Am I going to spend a bunch of time talking about this dude and he's already gone? Sometimes I miss him. No, he's right here. The year where Mahomes became the starter. The year where Lamar became the starter. Drake May was some of the starter last year, but we feel good about his upside. In Dynasty, I'm not high on Drake May because people have already shot his value up. But in a redraft league, getting him in the 12th round, if he hits his upside, you get so much return here. And then at this point, I'm taking one more flyer on... I'm not sure why this is not showing me that many options. Could be a setting that I have. I need a kicker or a defense, and it's just not... Oh, because I typed May. That's why. I'm looking for big upside swings that probably get dropped early. So at this point in early August, I would take Ray Davis based on whatever happens with James Cook. You could also take Trey Benson there because James Conner is an older player. And then at this point, it's going to auto draft kicker and defense. Let's do a team review. We got Brian Thomas, Devon Achane, younger guys with massive upside. Like Brian Thomas was a pretty good prospect, and he showed a lot last year, and I'm expecting a better offense this year. And a healthy Trevor helps. I know some people talk about Mac Jones versus Trevor, and when Brian Thomas was good, it was actually with Mac Jones. I think that's mostly because he's a rookie, or was a rookie. Mac Jones isn't a starter anywhere in this league right now, and Trevor is. Maybe the Jags don't want Trevor to be their starter, but I think they do. I think they do, and plenty of teams needed quarterbacks, and Mac Jones is not a starter. I think Brian Thomas is better with Trevor. Achane, when the team is healthy, has RB1 upside, RB1 overall upside. Marv is still an elite prospect, and I'm totally fine with him in the 3rd round. There's some risk to it, but I'm definitely fine with that. And then Kamara just seems like perennially undervalued because he's old, but pass-catching running backs are fine at age. Hawkinson's a good, solid tight end. I'm not really worried about losing any weeks because of him. And then we've just got upside plays after that. So these can become big value gains, or they could just become point-scoring league winners. And that's what I'm looking for. Alrighty, if you want to see a different draft slot, let me know, and we'll record it.